Goes back, they're off and running for the first race here at the North Down, point to point at Kirkistown, and the first to show is Ballynulto to Metal Danny, and then the two greys straight out and McCoy Beach as they pass the judge and make the run down towards the first in the Dennison commercial sponsored 4-year-old maiden. And our leader Ballynulto, Metal Danny, and then in third is McCoy Beach, disputing that with straight out as the 4-year-olds jump and land over our first fence, and they swing left-handed out the country. Ballynulto in the lead, Metal Danny stalking in second, and the inside is straight out, and then comes McCoy Beach, and our leaders have quickly gone 3 lengths clear of the third and fourth place runners, but Ballynulto, Metal Danny on the run to number 2. Ballynulto, Metal Danny stride for stride, McCoy Beach out jumping straight out as they swing down the back straight for their first time, this 4-year-old maiden. Ballynulto in the red and royal blue. The far side, white with the emerald green sleeves, is Metal Danny. In third, in the black and mauve, McCoy Beach, and then the green with the red hollow box is straight out, is Metal Danny. On the far side of Ballynulto, and then a clear third, McCoy Beach, and then comes straight out. Ballynulto and Metal Danny. Better jump in the air by Ballynulto, a length to the good. Over in second place races Metal Danny, and then third McCoy Beach, and still in fourth is straight out, half a length down on McCoy Beach, nearing the last down the back. Ballynulto, Metal Danny once again stride for stride. To in third is McCoy Beach, and straight out in fourth, left-handed out of the back straight. And Ballynulto in the hands of Noel McParlin. Second place Derek O'Connor on board Metal Danny. Third McCoy Beach, Brian Lawless in fourth, with Shane Butler on board straight out. And these four, naturally enough, due to the recent wet weather, steady fractions being set in testing conditions here. Ballynulto half a length to the good over Metal Danny, McCoy Beach, and straight out. No change in the running order as they swing into the home straight. Ballynulto, Metal Danny, McCoy Beach straight out. Inside the wings of the next, Ballynulto still a length to the good over Metal Danny, and quite slick through the air. Ballynulto shares the same sire with recent Grade 1 winner Madgeborough. To in second place is Metal Danny by Corcorico as they make the way down to what was the first circuit to go. Ballynulto, Metal Danny, McCoy Beach, and straight out at the next. And Metal Danny joins on landing Ballynulto. Then comes McCoy Beach by Cloth of Stars, and then still in fourth, straight out, the son of Dartmouth. Ballynulto, Metal Danny 2.5 lengths to the good over in third place McCoy Beach, and then in fourth, still straight out, as Ballynulto once again just out jumping Metal Danny. Both of them are faultless though thus far. Ballynulto, Metal Danny, straight beach, McCoy Beach to straight out. Down the back straight once again. Near side in the red, Ballynulto by a neck, Metal Danny. And then comes McCoy Beach, the darker of the two greys, and straight out. Ballynulto now by a half length, Metal Danny. Then 2 lengths further back to McCoy Beach and straight out. And extending the advantage in the air was Ballynulto, Metal Danny. 2.5 lengths further back to McCoy Beach, and a half a length or 3 parts to straight out. The last down the back once again, Ballynulto, Metal Danny, McCoy Beach, and straight out. Absolutely no change in the running order in this Dennison commercial sponsored 4-year-old maiden, and Ballynulto still yet to fully relax in the hands of Noel McParlin. Second place continues to be Metal Danny, and then McCoy Beach and straight out. Along the roadside they race. Ballynulto, Metal Danny, and then McCoy Beach and straight out. Ballynulto saving ground on the inside. Metal Danny hasn't been further than a length behind Ballynulto since the tapes went back. McCoy Beach together with straight out as Ballynulto pops that nicely to Metal Danny. Good jump in third. McCoy Beach saw him land on the girth of Metal Danny as they head past the judge with a circuit ahead of them. Ballynulto, Metal Danny, McCoy Beach, and straight out. The first slap down the shoulder from a jockey came from Shane Butler on straight out. Ballynolto, Metal Danny, straight out on the inside of McCoy Beach. Ballynolto, once again by a half. Pitching on landing there was McCoy Beach, just getting into the boards. But Ballynolto, Metal Danny, no injection of pace thus far. McCoy Beach and straight out. And Ballynolto by a head, Metal Danny, down towards the next. Ballynolto, Metal Danny, and they've gone 3 or 4 lengths to the good now over McCoy Beach and straight out. And a good jump once again by Ballynolto. Saw him take a length out of Metal Danny. McCoy Beach in third on the outside is straight out. Down the back straight for their final time. And Ballynolto, Metal Danny. McCoy Beach and straight out. And Ballynolto saves ground on all the bends. Metal Danny once again ranging up on his outside. McCoy Beach and straight out. Down towards the next and it's Ballynolto, Metal Danny by a half length. Ballynolto, it goes on by a length to McCoy Beach straight out now, a clear fourth. Ballynolto, and on the outside Derek O'Connor getting lower in the saddle, and it's Ballynolto, Metal Danny, McCoy Beach and straight out down towards the next, and in the red Ballynolto pops that nicely to in second place Metal Danny. Derek O'Connor getting more animated, and then likewise in third McCoy Beach to straight out as they swing left-handed. Ballynolto responding for pressure is Metal Danny. Ballynolto, has he pulled too hard? On the outside is Metal Danny, and quickly going for the persuaders Noel McParland as Metal Danny goes 2 or 3 4 lengths clear. Ballynolto hasn't picked up, and then straight out on McCoy Beach, rear of the 4, left-handed into the home straight, and the Dennison commercial sponsored 4-year-old maiden, and it's Metal Danny going further clear to in second place straight out, who's picking up for pressure into the minor money. Ballynolto stopped, likewise McCoy Beach, and at the last Metal Danny showed signs of greenness down the back but quickly responded. Second place is straight out. Ballynolto pulling up in fourth was McCoy Beach, but Metal Danny scores in the hands of Derek O'Connor and does that very nicely. He's going to have a future. Second place straight out, who stayed on well. Third Ballynolto. 3 finishers.